Hello everybody, welcome to another Eternal video. Today we are running over, well, obviously a deck that's involving a lot of Hero of the People, but it also involves a new card, Highland Sharpshooter. And we're going to be trying to jam a bunch of abilities onto Highland Sharpshooter, and then give them to Hero of the People, and Inquisitor Makto, and a bunch of other cards. You can look down below to actually see the deck tech video. In the meantime, I'm just going to jump right on in, and I think I'm going to keep this. We don't have any fire, which is definitely scary, but we have the ability to play both Hero of the Peoples, and we're really, really close to Crownwatch Press Gang, which to me is enough to keep this. Reinvigorate is really more for us actually having the Highland Sharpshooter. And with our opponent playing a Crest here first, I don't think they're any kind of aggressive deck. It's much more likely that they are just a straight-up Peaks deck again. Yeah, definitely looks pretty peaksy in here. I'm not sure that I love having a bunch of Heroes of the People, but at least they're kind of must-answer threats. You've got to be worried about them getting revenge, and so they tend to be popped off by pretty expensive removal spells. Another nice thing is that Reinvigorate protects us a little bit from kind of the traditional removal that a lot of these decks are running in Permafrost-type cards. You can get rid of those real fast with Reinvigorate. Alright, and let's see what they have. I can't imagine they don't have anything here. Double Strategize is an excellent opener for them in a game that's going this slow. Ooh, transform into a goat. Alright, well, fair enough. I'm just going to Crownwatch Press Gang here. So one of the things that I like to do, and I talked about this in the actual article, the deck tech that we have down below, not article, but we want to get Tock Tick, because we can now go Hero of the People and then immediately Tock Tick, which gives it a lot of protection. Because even if they have a torch or something, we've already got it protected. And wow, Triple Strategize is an unbelievably good hand. It just means they're going to have all of the exact cards that they want. This is an insane opener for this style of value deck. I could just slam Inquisitor Makto here. I think I'm going to attack first. See what happens. Nope, nothing from our opponent. They could easily try and play like a Howling Peaks next turn, but if they do that, they're only killing this. Transform it into a goat. They have a second one. I mean, unsurprising. They're going to have just an insane hand from now on because of how much they've been able to craft what they have. Like, they're going to have an unbelievably good draw, and it's going to seem insane, and it's just because of this. Yeah, here's the Smuggler. Sure. So we're in a lot of trouble. Getting that much time is just so disgusting. Alright, this is okay for us. Interesting. We don't want to use Reinvigorate right away because of the fact that they're probably going to play a Howling Peaks. And I'd like to be able to catch it by surprise. So we're going to go Hero, and we're going to play Tock Tick, and we can hold up Reinvigorate that way. And if they try and just go Howling Peak, which I expect is going to happen here. Ooh, they don't have undepleted power. I was thinking that they would go for a Howling Peak and kill this, but I'm okay just waiting. I think I wait on this Hero as well, see what else we can get. Devour is actually a good card for us to have. It draws us a bunch of different cards here. And being able to put this back into our deck isn't a bad idea. What do they have? We could Reinvigorate to deal a fair bit of damage. It's just 2. It's fine. We don't need to do that yet. Go for Wisdom. Huh. Alright, I should probably just go for the extra damage now. Like, we can just Reinvigorate, pop that, and start slamming. We know we're drawing Devour. So we'll just start turn. I'm going to start off and see what they do here. Okay, they do have something. We're just short of lethal. It's 1 off. So let's see where they try and respond here. I'm going to guess they've got another display. Yeah, they had another one. Wow, that's crazy. I'm going to Devour here. Saves it from transforming, gives us the revenge. It'll get us endurance on this if we can draw it. Which, a lot of the times you can because you do draw again immediately. We had a 20% chance of hitting it right then. And we'll just hit. Into 6. Oof, another power card is definitely not what we want. I'm still just going to hold on to this Hero of the People. I'm worried about them having something like Harsh Rule or even just a Hailstorm. Rise to the Challenge is an interesting one. I haven't seen Rise in a little while.
A great
For Howling Peak Smuggler. You got it. Man, triple strategize, triple display of honor is just a tough hand to beat. We are somehow still in this game, but yikes. So we're attacking. If they, yeah, I was gonna say, if they block wrong, then we've just actually got them dead, so it definitely makes sense. This is pretty A-okay, though. I'm actually gonna go Hero and Makto.
Run, cowards. You cannot hide.
I'm gonna guess they got Ryzen. Bottom again. We've got a very, very good chance of hitting our Destiny unit at this point. Oh, burn them all. Okay. That just still leaves them dead, so easy peasy, we win. Nice. Got their goat. I had to think of some kind of bad put into play there. In any case, we've got game 1 and off we go to game 2. Game 2 hand looking pretty decent. I'm going to keep this one. We can go Crest of Glory and actually Stonescar Banner turn 2 to play Lifespeaker or Tock. I kind of like that. Ooh. Now an undepleted power. I'm going to keep that as well, because it means we can both Lifespeaker and Tock in the same turn and set up to start going off. Ooh, I have not seen a Journey Guide in a while. Journey Guide is a little bit scary because it suggests that they have like a combo deck and they could get really scary really fast and just combo kill us out of nowhere. It's very interesting to see it turn 1 too, because that's extra scary. Oof. Nasty. Their hand is insane. I could slay it. It's one of those cards where it's such an awful, awful, awful card later on where you don't actually get that much of any value off of it, right? Because you're not drawing as many cards later that you need to reduce the costs of normally the last few cards in your hand. It's early on that you can get like these insane draws. So is it good to kill it now, or do I want to just kill what they play off of it? Because they might not get anything. I'm going to just play Highland Sharpshooter and pass. Like, they might not be drawing any units off of it at all here and not be getting a whole lot of value. Or if they do draw units, not really get anything that matters all that much to be cheaper. Like, if they had had this drawn to cost 1, would it make any difference for this turn? Like, probably not. I'm just going to go for the Devour here. We might actually, ideally, it'd be amazing. Undepleted power and an Invigorate? Eh, not quite. We'll just pass. We do get to draw an extra card next turn because Crownwatch Press Gang grabs us the Tock tick back immediately. Oh, Sandglass Juggernaut. Hello. Big Jugs. That's a pretty sweet little card. Very, very cool with Infinite Hourglass. I've done a few decks like that. That was actually one of the ideas I had for this deck, was to use Highland Sharpshooter, give it Endurance, and then that Endurance could transfer to Sandglass Juggernaut. So this is a Reckless 6/1 that's invulnerable to damage. And the disadvantage is that it exhausts itself immediately, and then it's Reckless, so normally it can't block. But you give it Endurance, and it's something that can never die in combat, attack, or defense, which is pretty sweet. We're just going to go with Crownwatch Press Gang, though.
You're in the Crownwatch now.
We could slay it, but I'm trying to find some combat tricks here, too. I'd like to go slay and something else. I guess that's getting increasingly unlikely, but at least we could use our power efficiently there. And we're not really under any pressure. Like, we can block with this. Not a big problem. Like, I actually really don't mind blocking with the 3/3. because of the revenge. Getting it back immediately can do a lot of good for us here. That card's a bit scary. Do we want to go for the Righteous Fury? It might be that kind of day. Crest of Chaos. On the bottom. Could also go for Plate. So if we go for Plate, we can then slay the 7/7, and Plate gets us around the 6/1. Also, obviously, does incredible amounts of damage, which is a little bit of an advantage. I'm going to go for it right now. Get the Plate. We can chump block with the 1/1. Take a bit of damage, but in general, still be in pretty okay shape. Suppose I could have also gone for Boar to just get rid of the Infinite Hourglass. Certainly reasonable. I can always do that next turn, though. They did hit something, and it was better than Xenan Obelisk, so that's a little terrifying. Wow, and they hit a Merchant. They're drawing very, very, very well. That is definitely scary. I'm going to guess they got Mysterium Orb or something similar, so they get Overwhelm on these. The part that sucks about that is that we can't bore them immediately. It doesn't necessarily do what we want. So do we go for the Deepforged Plate and just slam? We're not able to trade with the 6/1. So that's not super helpful. I'm just going to kill this now, because I'm positive that what's happening is Mysterium Orbs, so they get overwhelmed, and that's just really scary. Yep. Well, I think that was actually gotten off the Pompous Historian, maybe, not off of the market. I mean, it didn't have the market symbol on it, so it's definitely not the market card. Take 10 damage. We can bore and play both of them and shrink this down to a 1/1. And as much as I like Hero of the People, I've been stuck on power this whole game. I don't mind just going, trading the hero here and immediately boring both. Thing is that we can trade the Sigil and still play both Boar, so maybe it's fine this way. Alright. Blow some of these up. Okay. Now we've just given them a 1/1. And hopefully they don't just have another relic in hand that's amazing. Purified. Alright. Obnoxious, but not the end of the world. Makto.
Follow my lead.
Let's give +8, +7 to our next unit and Overwhelm. Cool thing, too, is that if it's a Tock tick, we get to go Crownwatch Press Gang and immediately draw it, which is pretty sweet. We're at a very low life total, though. We need to find ways to gain life if we can. So, going for a Xenan Lifespeaker looks really nice right about now. It's hard to immediately gain the life gain off of it, but gotta try and plan here for long term if we can a bit. Very interested to see what they got from the market, because we haven't seen it yet.
A customer.
I guess we won't. I don't think we did. Maybe I missed it. I didn't see it on Mysterium Orb, though, and I didn't see it on Purify. There's the Stirring Sand. Yep. Thankfully, that's only one. So it's not nearly as bad as it seems. Ooh, we've got some stuff going on here. Wow. So we can actually Reinvigorate for a lot of damage. Kind of protect ourselves. I think I might just like going for Inquisitor Makto, though.
Charge.
Or is the Crownwatch the right thing to do? I'm gonna go Crownwatch. Yup, good call. I was like, there's too much of a chance that it's Toxic. And it was Tock. Alright. That seems pretty good for us. I suppose I could have held on to that to give Hero of the People Overwhelm and Revenge and stuff, but... yeah, I don't know. I feel pretty good about this. Our opponent still has some life here, but not much. They don't have good attacks, they can't block very well. The big thing is if they can get a good relic. Like, a Xenan Obelisk would be pretty scary still. They've got enough of a board to maybe go wide around us at that point. Considering how long this is taking, though, I'm going to guess we're in pretty good shape. Oof. Maybe not. That's a little scary. Reinvigorate's a lot of damage, though, and they're not blocking. Like, no, they can't block the 6-1. Got a lot of Overwhelm. There's no attack here that makes sense besides this, yeah. They have to do this because it's reckless. Ooh, hello.
Here's another recruit.
I'm gonna get the Lifespeaker. Probably doesn't matter, but there's no real reason not to go for it. We've got 7, 8, 9, 12 power blocking. We have 17 just on those. Yeah, this makes sense. Oh. Did they just not block? Okay. I would pump, but... sure. Alright, freebie. Whew. I mean, I think they were dead anyways, but... it just stunned me for a second there because they hadn't just straight conceded, and I wasn't sure if I was like, well, am I doing this too early? Am I suddenly, like, giving them the info that I have this? But no, just basically a different way of conceding. And we're up 2-0. Game 3's hand is looking acceptable, actually. I don't mind this. We're on the draw. We have a bunch of scouts. We've got Torch. We can hold off a little bit of early aggression. Inquisitor Makto is obviously really good with all of our power cards here. Yeah, this seems fine. I'm convincing myself that this is okay. Alright, now we've actually got a curve, too. So this ended up being pretty nice. Very happy with how the deck's performed so far, although we haven't seen the dreaded menace yet. We have not yet found the very, very scary Fire Justice Shadow deck. It's not as likely for us to see it, because we're in pretty low rank Masters. And by pretty low rank, I mean abysmally low ranked. But we like it here. It's where things are fun. I don't want Reinvigorate. Not good enough yet when we don't already have, like, a Hero of the People. It's really, really cool when you have Highland Berserker, or Sharpshooter, sorry, or when you have a Hero of the People, but it's really bad otherwise. It's one of those cards that I kept on looking for, like, a better option, but it's so insane when it works. And there's just nothing else that really, like, gives permanent stat upgrades in the way that it does. It kind of ends up being a very singular card for us. Like, there's not a lot that we could choose to trade it for. And it's a really important style of effect, so it is something that we need to play a lot of. Is this Chalice? This might be a Chalice list. If it is Chalice, we actually have a really good answer to it in Inquisitor Makto. Chalice has generally been pretty weak to flyers. Chalice is not much of a thing anymore, though, so who knows what this deck is weak to. And we have an interesting decision here. Do we go for the Crownwatch Press Gang draw, or do we try and set up for Inquisitor Makto? And I think the answer is that we go for the Crownwatch. It gives us an immediate lifesteal because of the Xenan Lifespeaker that we have out. And I do like that. Means that if we draw something like a Hero of the People, we give it lifesteal and revenge immediately, which is nothing to sniff at. Yep, there we go. It is indeed a Chalice deck. Yeah, get that lifesteal. I'm okay just attacking here. The more things they trade, the less they can actually make larger with Chalice. Let's see what we get. Another power card. Don't want that. Could just make this a 4-4.
Make each bullet count.
Kind of like playing Stonepowder Alchemist and maybe even just passing. I like passing and holding up the torch because I want to have another Xenan Lifespeaker if this one dies, and I also want to have Tock tick in case we immediately hit a Hero of the People. Oof, another Zalta Convoy. That's pretty gross. Good thing we have the flyer. Another Crownwatch. Okay. Well,
Run, cowards! You cannot hide!
this is a rough one. I suppose we could try and attack and make them block with the 4-4, but we might be able to chip in for some other damage or trade off for other chalice food, but
A customer.
having chalice and double Zalta Convoy this early is really, really disgusting. And now they're going to have a silence for this too, so yeah, this is pretty incredible. They've had a really, really sick start. There's Boar if we want it. This is interesting. They didn't actually play a card here. Equivocate. Yeah. Wish we had that Devour. At this point, we can swap out Parapet Sentry for...
Finest weapons in Myria.
or Boar, I think. I guess I could also Avigraft, and then they just never have an Aurelian Merchant again. That takes a little bit of time, though, and I think I'd rather just they don't have any more Chalice activations. And pass the turn. I mean, good news is we have infinite life. It's going to be hard for them to kill us. We get a long time to draw through into something else. And what do we have? Stonepowder Alchemist. Not the worst card in existence, but I would really like to find something else.
Crownwatch now.
We need Devours. We need Cure the People. We need another Makto. We need something like that. We could attack with the whole team. We'd be losing something to the 4-4. But we probably can get them to block with one of these. Is that even worth it? Probably not. We'll just wait. Okay. Give me something good. Slay is not terrible, but not really what we want. At this point, let's get some damage in here. Let's do something. Either one of these can trade with their 4-4. If they want to trade multiple other things, then that's okay. If they try and like double block with an Amber Acolyte and something else, then we can get them that way too. Sure. And we can play one Tock tick without actually harming our Cure the People kind of plan. Xenan Lifespeaker is not a bad one to get down, but I don't mind just Tock ticking here. I'm hoping that we can draw a Devour, and we'd like to have Tock tick on the field if we can. Another Chalice. Nice. That's going to be scary. Come on. Wow. Non-power cards would be really, really, really good. Them being 5 cards ahead of us and only 1 power ahead is really not doing us any favors. Well, I think that we're just going to lose the Chalice. I mean, we're just getting way too flooded out here. We've bottomed a few power cards too. We've been trying to get to something useful, but we are not drawing anything good right now. We've been in a real drought. Sure. Like, not even getting a chance to have Devour or something here really sucks. We're just going to torture our own unit. At least we can do that. Stop Avigraft from activating there. I think that style of thing is fairly necessary for how stuck we are. It's brutal, but our draw's just been so bad that we have to do that style of thing. Hopefully draw it and start chaining something together, so we might have a little bit of a chance. Because right now this is just nuts. I guess we Sharpshooter. We're really dead, though. I'm imagining they got, like, Channel. Playing both merchants is very interesting. Very, very interesting. Yep, another Avigraft.
Finish them!
Sure. I mean, at this point, we know with how few power they've drawn in comparison to how many extra cards they have over us, they're going to have a ton of gas. Just an insane amount. Like, all of their cards in hand have got to be really, really scary. They have something at fast speed, so maybe another Equivocate. I'd say it's pretty likely. Like, knowing what we're trying to do would make sense to try and get Equivocate. You've got to know Equivocate's pretty good against us.
Here's another recruit.
There's a Devour. It's not nothing. And we just do that immediately. Because we really need to find something good. Well, that is pretty poop. To say the least. Wow. I guess I'll play another one? Yikes. Huh. Yeah, I'm not really sure we can get now. We've only had one Smuggler, so I mean, obviously Smuggler would have been really, really awesome. Like, Regent's Tomb would have been great this game. Getting another Makto would be really nice. We have a ton of great cards that we could have drawn. We just haven't been able to get anything going. Pretty easy double block. Like, Display of Ambition would be really nice. Get us a bunch of revenge units back. There's stuff we can do. We just need to not draw more power cards. Okay. Wow. Sure. Ouch. This is very painful right now. There are a lot of cards up on us and a lot less power now at this point. So they're going to just run us over. They've got a ton of gas. There's nothing we can do about it. Our draw is just not nearly good enough to deal with this. If we had Maktos, I think we have a really, really good chance of winning, but we just have not been able to find anything useful. I mean, Smugglers, too. There's so many things that would have been good here. So many things that could have done something. Here Are the People would have been awesome. At least we get it now. I'm not sure that actually helps us, but we can certainly see.
For those who can.
I guess we might as well go for it. It's pretty likely that they can just wipe the board or equivocate it, but holding back isn't going to do us anything. They have way too much value at this point. We need to try and end the game very, very quickly while they're at least a semi-low life total. Because our draw can't beat any late game here. More power cards. Ay-ya. Hey-ya. Woof. Alright, well, I just gotta throw units away and hope that we start drawing something here. Because we have no hope other than that. Our last best chance is to somehow get, like, Display or Makto or something, anything relevant to try and end this game. To keep a Tock tick. I mean, it draws me another card immediately anyways, so it's free. Another merchant. Yep. A surprise Deepforged plate would feel really good right about now. Second Chalice, sure. That doesn't really matter all that much. Especially since that's just going to stay depleted. Or exhausted, whatever. Alright, give me something good, please. Wow. Or not. Huh. Alright. I mean, I have half the power in my entire deck. More than half. That's pretty unreal. that's pretty bad. You might be surprised to find this, but that is poop. Incredibly bad luck poop, in fact.
Make each bullet count.
Oh, that's relevant. Alright, I can just scoop here. I don't need to play the rest of the 15-20 minutes that it's going to take for them to beat us, because they've got a really slow, grindy deck. We can sit here and chump block for a really long time, but ultimately, that game's just over. We flooded out way beyond anything reasonable, and it just killed us. Alright, I like this hand. It's certainly not bad. It's actually got way more impactful cards this time. Display of Ambition is something that could have easily won us the game last time. We just... I'll move on from that last game. I'm just annoyed and surprised by how flooded we were, and it felt like a game that was so winnable was what was obnoxious about it. But in any case, this hand does look nice, and especially with Highland Sharpshooter now. I think that we just lead with the Crest of Gloria. It doesn't really matter between the two Crests, I don't think. Second Highland Sharpshooter is neat, but we need ways to target them, so I don't have a lot. I want to bottom that. We need something like a Smuggler or Reinvigorate specifically. There's basically nothing else. Those two alone have made Highland Sharpshooter pretty amazing when it happens, though. And we saw what happened game 2 when we Deepforged plated it. Is this another? Or is it the same person? Hold up, what's going on here? Is this just Chalice again? This is wild. If it's Chalice twice in a row, there's something really strange going on. Attack, see what they do. Yeah, they don't want that to die. I guess I should have actually played the power card first, because I might have displayed. Probably not, but it's certainly an option. One I should leave open if I have the chance. This is weird. Two of these style of decks in a row is just so odd. At least in this meta, especially. Hero of the People. So I can play that next turn, and then the turn after get Makto. Actually don't mind that.
Charge!
Pass the turn. I'm really liking their no block. The choice of just never blocking is really helping us out. Now there's an interesting choice. We can kill this, keep up attacks. I think that we'd rather just Devour. And start trying that out. Good. Ooh, we have some options here. Banner. Don't really need it.
For those who cannot.
So I'm definitely worried that they just like Martyrs chains us here, but sort of the Sky King, similar. They are just gonna go for the hero. I'm like, at least here they probably go for that, but I guess not. Interesting. So now we can Reinvigorate, get a big pump. Let's see what we get next. Ooh. Okay. Plan. You know, just give it Overwhelm +1.
Trust in the light. Follow my lead.
Make it a 6/4. Make a very large and in charge Stonepowder Alchemist. And, might want to just stop them from having power here.
Charge! Charge!
And the good news is that it lives so that we can deal a little bit of damage to the sword, too. What an interesting game. I guess they're just on temporal. We can really, really hope that that doesn't come back.
Another late night.
Nice. Slay isn't the worst. I think we can lead with Makto. I'm a little bit worried about a board wipe style of an effect. It's not that big of a deal when we have Makto here, because Makto obviously can just come back, but I think I'd rather just hedge against some kind of possible mass silence, too. Like, they've gotta have some different ways to deal with these creatures. I don't necessarily want to risk Makto immediately. And there we are. I'm gonna guess that this is a setup for a harsh rule. Because I think that you would silence the Overwhelm. Yep. Yeah, so this is just a board wipe. I can't think of any real reason not to block. Alright, Hailstorm, I guess. Sure. I feel like if we hadn't done that, then it would have been harsh rule, but I guess I could have blocked differently just to make it so that it would be. That really sucks, because part of the reason that we did that is to set up so that we could Inquisitor... like, we would be able to Inquisitor Makto soon, but then we can Crownwatch Press Gang and redraw Tock and have it just be an extra card that we get.
Run, cowards! You cannot hide!
Darn. Channel.
Unleash the storm.
So, is this the mightiest cockroach? It is. Nice.
You're in
Torch.
the Crownwatch now.
Honestly, I don't think the Lifespeaker is going to matter all that much, but Tock really might. Having something that just keeps coming back is obnoxious for them to deal with. Forcing them to have multiple removal spells or silences or something is a pretty good idea. Speaking of ideas... Give me some good revenges. That's not a bad one.
No escape.
Gotta think that our opponent has a lot of power in hand, right? They're only 3 ahead of us right now, and they're 10 some cards deeper in their deck. Defiance. Yep.
You will pay for
So they're
your
just gonna have a
crimes.
board wipe here. Good news is that Makto keeps coming back. Bad news is Slay is totally dead in our hand. I really wish that we had Devour instead. Scourge of Frost. Huh. Alright. I will admit, I did not expect the Scourge. Guess I could have used Torch on their face. Would have been really, really close to killing them, too. Okay, now we don't want Display of Ambition. Avigraft the Tock? Yeah, okay. I'm like, they should get the Crownwatch Press Gang. Whether it was... Oh, it was just Defiance. It was just going to come out from under the stun anyways. Well, funny enough. I would love to get a Smuggler. Or Avigraft it. Wow. These last 2 games have been a showcase of some really bad draws, huh? I mean, this one's not as bad, not even close, but just the instant punishes on these is kind of hilarious. What do you do? Looks like we are unfortunately going to die here. We don't have a lot of spells in this deck, so that's why it's so frustrating to see so many of these. It's kind of crazy. Yeah, it's just really unbelievable. So did Sky King, sure. Yeah. They're just trying to show off how many extra things they had. They were obviously very happy. Alright, here we are for the finals. We started out with 2 really good draws, ended up into very not good draws, and now we have this hand, and it's got enough potential that I think I keep it. Obviously, it can be a little bit dicey if we don't draw power, but we have the Scout, we've got ourselves on the draw, and we have Devour in worst-case scenarios. Yeah, we're definitely keeping Crest of Vengeance. It's a slow way to get power here, but I mean, if we can go... Ooh, Gunslingers. That's actually pretty scary. We can go Xenan, Crest, and then Rakano banner, as long as we still have this. Keep a Stonepowder Alchemist or not. I'm going to say... Grand Canyon Smuggler. Do we want to smuggle this early is the thing. So instead, it's kind of tempting to just Stonepowder Alchemist next turn, and then we can Devour it. You know... I'm going to keep. Anyways, I did say it was scary when the Gunslinger came down, and I want to clarify why that is. Because they look like the old school, yeah. The old school, like, Winchest before it was Winchest Gunslinger deck, which could be explosively fast, and I think that's exactly what they're trying to do here. And we unfortunately ran into that problem where we don't have the actual... unit so that we have it undepleted and can get the Stonepowder Alchemist down, and here's that explosiveness I'm talking about. On a pretty sweet little draw here again. That hideout pistol was disgustingly good. We just gotta hope that that didn't get them too much. And that we can draw a power card, maybe? We've had so many of the last few games. Give me one now, game, please. You owe me. We just need to buy ourselves time. I know we could try and Devour that. Wow, they hit that. They hit and triple Devour. Well, I guess that we're not going to get any kind of luck these last couple games, because this is not particularly kind to us right now. I guess I'll take Regent's Tomb. It doesn't really matter. Like, nothing here was that good, and they are just absolutely crushing. Getting a card that they almost assuredly have in their deck as one of the contraband cards is so disgustingly good. And us just drawing Devour, 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 kinda sucks. Just a little bit. No power cards and all Devours. Yep. Yeah, that's a game that absolutely any deck would lose. Oh, no. Almost any deck would lose to because of how incredibly explosive it was, and especially with just how awful our draw was there. Super misery. Well, I mean, that was an unfortunate way to lose the last 3 games where we just had some exceptionally rough draws, but if there's one advantage, I mean, at least it shows that I don't... set these games up. You know that these are actual games being played, because why would I keep these in otherwise? I've had people recently say that I obviously set up for a bunch of wins. I'm like, no, I don't. I definitely do not do that, because, wow, I could definitely record 3 better games than those ones. In any case, it has been a lot of fun. I hope you enjoyed this deck. I think that this was a blast to play, even if we had some bad luck those last few games. But when it goes off, it's fantastic. And it goes off a lot more often than those last 3 times. So hopefully don't judge it entirely by that. I'd love to see some Kaifas decks. I talked about it in the deck tech video. I didn't actually put Kaifas in this deck, but I would highly suggest kind of looking at different builds to do that way. And if you have an idea for like a slower Highland Sharpshooter deck that might be able to use Kaifas, I'd really like to see it. And definitely check out the deck tech on this one, because there are some things in the market you might have noticed, like Righteous Fury, and I want to talk about the deck a little bit, so check that out down below. If you like the video, hey, subscriptions are great. They're free on YouTube, and follows on Twitch are free too. It's a thing that I do basically every single day. I hope to see you around next time, and have a wonderful week.